Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tea Talk Thursday. So last week we didn't go live because Facebook stopped working, Instagram stopped working. I didn't know if YouTube was going to shut down, so I didn't want to run the risk of us being in the middle of this amazing conversation and you guys miss any of it. So I decided to postpone it. So we are here today and ready. So I am
Yes.
so excited about my guest, Linda James-Rivera. She and I met, oh my God, I don't even know how many years it's been at
Probably
this
about
point.
12, maybe
Yeah, because
14.
that's when
Yeah.
like meetups were like popular.
Yeah, right.
Right, exactly.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
when everybody was like connecting and hanging out and doing all of that.
hmm
So we connected through a meetup. We were doing all these girls' activities, having like literally the time of our lives.
We really
And we had
were.
so much fun. Yes. And I
Yeah.
remember you used to have like a little club type thing in your basement. You were doing like online radio. Do you guys still do that?
No, we had a live radio show. It lasted probably about 2 years. We just got burnt out from it
I can
because it
imagine.
was 7 days a week
Hmm.
from, I think it was like 10 in the morning till midnight. And that was just a lot.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
is
we
a
didn't have
lot.
a lot. We didn't
And you
have a
had
lot.
another job. So that's yeah, I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, the whole like online space can be
hmm
draining. And I tell people all
Very
the
much
time,
so.
it looks
hmm
good, when we show you what we show you, but the behind
hmm
the scenes sometimes is very draining.
It
And it's
will wear you
important that,
out.
exactly, you got to do what works for you. But
hmm
I'm glad to see you're well and you're
I
married
am.
because,
I
when we were hanging
am.
out, you were not
I
married.
was single,
You
right?
were, but then you got a boo.
Then I got a boo, and he's still my boo. No,
Exactly.
hi
Hey, it
boo.
happens. Exactly. Listen, you like it. I love it. I think everybody should get a boo
Exactly.
and then marry that boo.
But it need to be
Um,
the right boo.
that that is
Need to
true.
be the right boo. Need
I
to be the
agree
right.
with that. I absolutely
Yeah.
agree with that. And that's a
Yes. Yeah.
conversation probably for another day, but I have that
Shh.
conversation often because
Call me
people are
back
like,
for that
"Oh,
one.
my, you know what? I feel like we should do that together."
And I'm gonna tell you
I
why. Because
absolutely
the
do feel
first
like
time
that should
I
be a
was married,
conversation.
this is my second marriage. First time I was married 20 years. 20 years. That's a long time. 20 years we
I
were
didn't
married.
know that you guys have been married that long.
We have been
I
married
remember
20
you were
years.
divorced. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's a conversation I need to be a part of. And it shows you the
Absolutely.
difference between the wrong boo and the right boo.
Absolutely. Yes. So we are definitely going to get that conversation scheduled and ready on the books.
Absolutely.
So people out
Absolutely.
there, don't worry, we bringing that to you. And I actually think that conversation is going to really be important because I don't know if you've been watching Married at First Sight.
I love it. Don't we're not
So,
even gonna go there about Chris and Paige. I did not watch last
okay.
night. No
Okay.
spoilers.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna let that go. But guys, we bringing this back. So she will be back and we're going to talk about that.
hmm
Anywho, but today we are talking about something that is very important. You guys
Absolutely.
know this. Most of last month and some of this month, I've really been focusing on women and nonprofits.
hmm
Just the amount of work it takes to make a nonprofit go is crazy. I
It's
mean,
a
I've been
lot.
in the process of getting mine started for probably 5 years, and there are times I'm like, I ain't doing this. Let me
hmm
just give money or do what I've been doing because
hmm
trying to be at the helm, at the running it, and all that, like all the ins and outs. I'm tired thinking about it.
Wait, what they
But
don't realize, nonprofit means no money.
listen, yes, yes, yes.
No
And
money.
so, ironically, what happened is how the discussion surrounding nonprofits came up. I was doing this campaign with Toyota. We got on this panel, and they had their women executives really just talk about what it was like to be not only a female lead, but a lead
hmm
in really a male driven industry. And so,
hmm
from that, we started talking about, women supporting women and, women owned businesses. And then we touched on nonprofits. And
hmm
that was like a whole whirlwind. And so we all kind of
hmm
gave our 2 cents on, what we knew and, the things that we had been experiencing in the process. And I said,
hmm
I can't be alone. I'm sure there are other women out here experiencing this.
It's a
And this
whole
is
lot
why
of us.
I see. This is why I
hmm
put out a call and I said, hey, let's get on here and talk about this so people know what's going on. And, while it looks good when you see the product, the behind the scenes isn't always pretty. And sometimes we need more help. And I just want, for people to understand there are choices and things. And, we're running on tax time. People are always looking for places to make donations. I want to make sure that I got some good places for them to make donations. So
Yes, thank
introduce
you.
to us what is Northwest Mutual Aid Collective.
It's a
What is it?
mouthful, right? No,
I'm like, oh my God, let me make sure I say it
it's
right.
like a whole mood. So, what it is a grassroots nonprofit organization located in Germantown. We are a food supplier, and we're different than like a pantry or a food kitchen or a soup kitchen or even things like big pantries like Phil Abundance. We don't have like a pickup point where you see people line up for food boxes. We don't do that. What we do is we started thinking about the people that are really in need.
Mm,
Because there's a difference, because you can put a truck outside and put food boxes on the truck. Everybody gonna stop their car, everybody gonna get in line. Don't mean they need it. That just means it's free. There's because
mm,
when you say the word
mm,
free,
mm.
people say that's for me. It's free. I want it. Even if they don't want it, it's free.
Or need it.
Or need
Absolutely.
it, it's
Yes.
free.
Mm-hmm.
So we started thinking about who really needs food. And
Okay.
the pandemic exposed so much.
Woo,
The pandemic
man.
has put us on a whole nother level of awareness, from
Mm-hmm.
everything from food to jobs to police. That's a whole situation right there in itself. We're not here. We're not going there today, though. But
Whew, girl, I'm already triggered.
I,
Yeah.
yes, but what you realize, there's so many people out here that they are really just trying to make ends meet. They are really trying to, and sometimes people have to decide whether they're going to pay this bill, buy some food. So we were looking for those people.
Okay.
So what we do is we supply foods to homeless shelters.
Okay.
We supply food to rehab centers.
Mm,
So right now we're doing one family shelter that has about 100 people in it. So you're talking about mothers, fathers, children. Um, and the reason why
mm,
some of these people are there is because of the pandemic. They lost their homes. So they're in transition. So then we have the rehab centers. As you know, the opioid crisis is insane. It's kind of, but we went through the crack era, so we get it. But there are so many people in these rehab centers that are in transition. So they get a limited amount of money from the state, but they don't get enough money to get fresh produce. They get
mm.
processed food because it's cheaper to buy. So,
Yep.
so we give to those. We have a teen rehab, which
Mm,
is, yeah. So you're talking about kids now that are going through rehab. Um, and then we also have a food pantry that feeds like about 75 people a week, every Tuesday, every Thursday. And these are mostly seniors that need food, and they can come there on Tuesday and Thursdays and pick up food. But
mm,
for my pleasure is we help the homebound seniors. We
mm-hmm.
deliver food right to their door. We
Nice.
have disabled residents that can't get out. We have a mother who is totally disabled. She doesn't leave the house unless she leaves in an ambulance.
Oh God.
We've never seen her. We only see her kids. She has
Oh.
6 children. She doesn't have her husband anymore. He's not in the picture anymore. So she needs help. We also supply cancer patients. We
You
give
know
them,
that's near and dear to me.
I know, I know. And we have cancer patients that can only their cancer. I'm not up on why, but
Understood.
they need certain vegetables.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we supply those vegetables for them to
Wow.
help in their process. Yes. And then we have um, single moms that do have jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have any single dads yet, but I know they're out there,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't discriminate. If you're a single dad and you need our help, you need to give us a call. But
Exactly.
we
Let
have
your
some,
pride go and get what you need.
exactly, do for your
Mhm.
kids and worry about that later.
Absolutely. Yep.
Um, and we have single moms that do have jobs, but during the pandemic, some of them have their hours have been cut, or they lost their full-time jobs, so now they're working just part-time jobs. So now they're trying to find a way to pay their bills, So
Mm,
that's what we do. So we deliver to those homes, directly to their homes, no contact delivery, and we supply them with a 30-pound USDA box of food, plus
wow. Okay.
a whole bag of produce, ranging from everything from leafy greens to apples, oranges, pears, mangoes, you name it. And
Wow.
then and we supply them with pantry items. So they get three things from us. They get the boxes, the USDA boxes, the produce, and the pantry items, the staples, your sugars, your rice, you know, this week is bagels. They get all fresh bagels from the bakery or fresh
Wow.
bread from the bakery. Sometimes people, even though they're hurting, they need to know that there's somebody there for them, and we're just going to be that resource. So that's what we do. That's us.
That is
That's what we
amazing.
do.
So,
Yeah.
how long has this been going on? When did you start? And what made you do this? Because, like you said, oftentimes with feeding, it's like, the soup kitchen type thing.
Mhm,
But you
mhm,
guys have so many different like channels. So, how did all
mhm,
that come to
mhm.
be?
Well, it all started last year during the pandemic. What happened
Okay.
was we just our church started giving out food boxes.
Okay.
So, and they encouraged the members to come and pick it up, and if you didn't need it, to give it to someone. So that's what we were doing. So we started doing that. So then they opened community refrigerators. I don't know if you've seen them. They're popping up everywhere. There are over 1,000 community refrigerators in the US right now. And what it is,
Wow.
yeah, and what it is it's a refrigerator. It's out in front of a building, literally in front of a building. That building says, I'll take your refrigerator and I'll pay the electric. They don't stock it, they don't take care of it. Someone mans it, people clean it, people donate to it. And it's kind of take what you need and leave what you can. So the community can put food in there. It's open 24
Wow.
hours a day. Yeah. So in
That
Germantown,
is amazing.
right? In Germantown now, there's four of them. And there's a new one opening, so there'll be five. So we started taking our food boxes to the refrigerator
Okay.
because we didn't eat it. So we gave
Right.
it to the refrigerator. Then we said, wow, we started talking to people because you know me, I'll talk to anybody,
Yes, you
anywhere.
do.
I will. But it used
Yeah.
to stress my husband out, but he done got used to it now. He just accepted. Um, but so I started talking to people and started hearing their stories. They started
Mm.
saying, well, things like, thank God for this refrigerator, thank God you're donating. And I'm thinking, how many more people out here is like that we don't know about?
Mhm.
So then there was a supply hub in the area that every Saturday, it was like it looked like a farmer's market. They would just set food up, fresh produce up, and people could come. And so we started volunteering there during the
Okay.
pandemic, and I'm thinking, risky, but we're doing it. So we started doing food drives to collect food for them. And then me and my husband, we were just talking and we were like, we need to be doing more.
Wow.
And so it was born. It literally just like that. And we've only been doing it now.
Wow.
Yes, we've only been doing it now since probably November. And we
Okay.
feed about 300 people a week.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
So now how do the people find you or how do you find them?
Word of mouth mostly.
Okay.
So basically, we started, we found one lady who I knew had cancer, and I asked her, and I just sat down with her and was like, what do you need? And she told
Mm.
me. So, okay, so we sourced that. And then she called me one day and she was like, hey, I have a friend, and this is what they need. And
Yep,
so
that's
on
how it
and so
happens.
on and so on.
Yep.
And then the one lady emailed the community fridge. She's like, listen, I need help. I can't get to your fridge. I'm disabled. Do you have anyone that can help us? So they called us like, hey, can you help her? So then that started there. And then we started calling shelters.
Okay.
Like, what do you need? How do we help? And it's just grown from there. And
So
300
I
people we.
absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. And what I need people to understand is oftentimes what happens is we all have good intentions. And I believe that, as a country, if we didn't get anything else from this pandemic, we recognize the importance of helping one another. Despite the fact that our country is literally under civil unrest, I believe the majority of the people are good. I believe that. I believe
Mhm,
that. And I
mhm,
believe that, we all have good intentions. And oftentimes we're like, I want to do something, but I don't know what to do. And I
mhm,
always say, pick up the phone and call somebody
mhm,
because organizations always need help.
mhm,
Be it answering the phones, be it
mhm,
responding to emails, be it
mhm,
dropping off meals. Like every
mhm,
organization always needs something. And
mhm.
so don't just keep talking about it saying, oh, I want to do this. I want to get involved. What can I do? Just do it. And literally, that's how I feel like a lot of nonprofits are born. I mean,
That is how they
realistically.
were born.
And
Mhm,
it's literally kind of the reasoning behind me starting, the one I'm doing associated with breast cancer.
mhm,
I saw a need. I realized that I was blessed. And I tell people all the time,
mhm.
I was extremely
Amen.
blessed, because not only did I have my parents who were here and treating me like I was a baby, I had my husband, I had my children, I had an amazing support system, my sorority sisters, my friends, organizations that I'm in, people rallied around me. And
Mhm,
so when I was, coming to the end of the medical treatment piece
mhm,
of cancer, it was just amazing as I met people and I hear their stories and I'm like, what do you mean you don't have anything to eat? And I just
mhm.
think about how my refrigerator was overflowing because people were
Exactly.
bringing food here every day. I
Mhm.
mean, it was like insane. And I'm like, what do you mean you didn't have anybody to help you go to the
You'd be
bathroom after you just had
surprised.
surgery? I like, I promise you, I just could not in my mind imagine that. I'm like, you're dealing with a deadly disease, not a
Mhm,
contagious disease. You're
mhm.
not friends with anybody. So then at some point I started saying, well, is it you? Because like, don't you know people? What do you mean? Like nobody came to help you? And then I had to step back and I realized, there were some people that I knew that I was real cool with that I thought were my
Yep.
friends who bailed,
Mhm.
who
Speak
bailed. And
it.
so I was like,
Speak it.
okay, I see this. And so literally that's kind of where what I'm putting together came to fruition. And what's happened is, and the reason why it's not an official 501c3 is because I really just have not had time to sit down and write and get it all together. But I'm
It's a
helping
lot.
people every day, every day.
Mhm,
So it's like,
mhm.
okay, it's not formal, but this is what I'm doing. Like, this is me, this is my life, no
That's
matter,
right.
what it is. And I realize that that's my purpose. And so that's what I
Mhm,
always say to people, we know what to do. We often just don't know to do it. So
mhm.
she's
Or
just
we
telling
or
you
we
all
don't
how
step out.
simple it was.
Mhm,
Step up, exactly. Yeah, she picked
mhm,
up the phone and called. Like,
mhm.
I mean, it don't get no simpler than that to me. I mean,
No,
it really
no.
doesn't. It really doesn't.
And you know what's so crazy? Because I hear you. And I was like you because I don't know if you can see my scar. I had
I
open
remember.
heart surgery.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, and I was blessed going through my surgery because I had a village. I had my girlfriends who took off or worked from home during the week and would come over here and sit with me when my husband and my son and everybody else had to go back to work so that I was never alone. But when I'm like you, I was shocked because I've talked to people and I'm saying, but you was always giving to somebody. You were always there for somebody. And you're going to tell me there is nobody that's going to feed you and your children? I'm going to feed
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Hmm.
And that's the part that bothered me was I hear these stories. I meet these people, and every time I go over to that refrigerator, first of all, I'm a crybaby, and I'm a crying mess, and I can't be standing out in front of refrigerators crying with strangers. But but it's the truth. And I'm just bawling. And I come home and and I have to remember, I still gotta feed my family because I'll be wanting to empty my whole refrigerator. Like, what you mean you hungry? I
Hmm.
just really just found out literally 2 weeks ago, my neighbor, who
Mm.
we speak, I don't know her that well. She hasn't lived on the block that long. She's seen our, because we're doing this out of our home. We don't have a building yet.
That was going to be my next question.
We're
Okay.
doing it out of our home. Our home, people, they drive down the street on a Saturday and go, "Are y'all giving away food?" Because it's so many boxes on my porch. So my
Mm.
neighbor one day started talking to me. This woman has never said anything other than hi. And I realized maybe she just asked if she need food. Come to find out, this woman been out of work for over a year.
Mm.
She lost her job. No one knew. No one has helped her. No one. But in the summer times when she was working, you see her kids. She has, excuse me, her niece that lives with her. Her niece don't buy food. We'll put out. Like I don't understand when you got sons. You telling me you sitting up here and you need food from me because your family's not feeding you. I didn't understand that concept. But
Mm.
then I realized people like me and you, we're truly blessed. And people,
Absolutely.
I use that word all the time, and people are always, "Oh, don't act like your life is so good." My life is good. My
For
life is
real.
good. And I am so thankful. I got a
Hmm.
roof over my head. I got food in my refrigerator. I got a family that loves me. I got kids that love me. I'm blessed. I got a
Hmm.
husband that will walk on water if I ask him to.
Don't
I'm
I know it?
blessed. And I feel like I have so much. Why not give it back?
Hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
we still work our
Absolutely.
full-time jobs. We still work our full-time jobs. Yeah, a girl, I'm still working my full-time job. I get
Okay.
off
Are you
at
going into work?
no, thank God, we working from
Okay. Good. You working from home.
home.
Okay. That's good.
And one of the girls that has come in on this with me and Nick, Trisha, she also works with me. She's also my coworker. And I'm thankful for
Oh,
her.
nice.
Yeah, because she understood. She don't live in Philly. She drive all the way down here to fill a refrigerator. So I'm like you. There are good people out
Wow.
here in the world.
Hmm.
We see so much bad. We hear so much on the news. We see so much. Yeah, yeah. That it makes us kind of tense up,
Hmm.
and but then I have to remember everybody ain't like that.
Hmm.
Everybody's not
Absolutely.
bad. Everybody's not bad. And there's people out here because there's so much bad in the world that they don't say when they need help.
Absolutely. And I think
People are
oftentimes it's
embarrassed.
people's pride. Yeah, it's your pride.
Hmm.
And I'm like, you got to eat.
Hmm.
And,
That's a right.
things people, right, exactly. Like people are out here who want to help you. Let them, let
Hmm.
them.
Hmm.
So you're doing it out your house.
Hmm.
So the boxes are being delivered to your house. That's so funny to
Girl,
me.
my house looked like a warehouse most of the time. I
That is
just told,
so funny to
so
me.
we were renovating our house. So um, we had to stop renovating our house to make room for the boxes. But because as you know how hard it is to get a 501c3. We went through all the paperwork. We got our incorporations. We're there. We're waiting on one little last piece from the IRS because they do their thing the way they want to do their thing, and they really don't care what we feel or what we need.
Hmm.
We
And that
have
time.
in their time, we have grants pending,
Mm,
and we're just waiting on the IRS piece. And once
okay.
we get that, hopefully, prayerfully, we'll get some grants. We need to hire a full-time person because we're probably working about 70 hours a week now.
Yeah, because I'm like that's a lot. Absolutely.
Hmm.
You definitely
Hmm.
need to get
Hmm.
to bring some people in to kind of help you,
Hmm. Hmm.
just yeah,
Yeah, we
because like
tired,
you
girl.
at yeah, I can only imagine. And then my thing is at some point, when the world quote unquote opens and you have to go into work, that's going to be
Mm,
a challenge. So absolutely you're going to
that
need
is going to be a
to get some
challenge.
help.
And the nice thing
Hmm.
about it is, me and my husband both work at Merck Pharmaceuticals, so we're both at home.
Oh, okay.
So we sit across from each other. He built us an office in our home, so We literally have a full blown office, so we sit together all day long. Good thing we like each other because we sit
I
each
know
with
that's
each.
right.
Because if we didn't, boy, divorce court, here we come. But we do, we like each other as people. So we sit across from each other. He does his day job. I do my day job. At 4 o'clock, we change hats and then we go to work. And
That
today,
is amazing.
just today, we did a refrigerator fill up today, right?
Wow.
We
So
got up
now
at four
where
and did that.
so how can people find these refrigerators? Like is there something you can go online and look
There
up
is,
or how does it
yes.
work?
They're all over the city. If you just Google community fridges in Philadelphia, a whole list will come up. They're everywhere. West Philly,
Wonderful.
South Philly, yeah, they're everywhere.
That is amazing.
Hmm.
I love
Hmm.
that.
Isn't it
I mean,
great?
I love that. Like, I'm gonna go Google it just because I want to take some stuff and put it in there. Like, I love that. I mean, I love the whole idea of it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I'm just wondering, like, do they have them in the suburbs too? You know, people have this idea that just because you live in the suburbs mean you're not hungry, but people hungry everywhere.
And I don't understand that either because there's certain neighborhoods that they don't want the community refrigerators, and I'm like, but there's still hungry people there, you know.
Yep.
But some of the refrigerators are bougie. I ain't even gonna lie. So, like there's one, I don't want to name it because we do supply to them, but they bougie. When you go in their refrigerator, they got like oat milk and all kinds of fancy stuff. Like,
Okay, they fancy.
yeah, they got like
But I
whole
get that. I mean, I
coconuts.
get that. And that's what I like because, like
Mhm.
you said before, you know, some of those boxes and things are just standard and it's not
It's
what the
standard.
person wants.
No,
And, all food ain't good food,
all
and,
food ain't good
if
food.
my dietary restriction does not allow me to eat or drink whatever that is, I shouldn't be penalized. So I like that that is
Mhm.
kind of, what's going on. That is great. So for people who need your help, how can they, or if they know somebody who needs your help, how does
Well,
that
they
work?
can email us at info@northwestmutualaidcollective.org and just reach out. It's literally
Okay.
that simple. Or actually, they can give us a call. The number is 484-640-2792. That's
Okay.
the company phone number. They can check out our website. Um, so, yeah, that's how you
And so
find
what
us.
about the
Find us on
person who is
Facebook.
right? So what about the person who's like, I want to help? How can they
Okay.
help?
We are in the process of doing a volunteer program. See, my
Okay.
concern, here's was my concern because I understand that there are some people that say they want to help, but I just need to make sure I'm getting the right people helping. Because one,
Mm,
you're sending the people to single mothers' homes, disabled people, people that are really, really sick with cancer, or I got a lady that's on dialysis. So I need to be able to vet these people. So some people
mm-hmm,
get upset because they say, well, I want to come and I want to drive and I want to make deliveries. But you're going to have to answer some questions because I'm
mm-hmm,
not
mm-hmm,
sending you to somebody's house. Yeah, you can come fill up a community refrigerator. That's great. That's out
mm-hmm,
in public. But I don't want to be responsible for anyone getting hurt because I didn't vet the person properly.
mm-hmm.
So so it's kind of tricky. It's fine for the public places like the family shelters or um, the rehabs because they have a place where you just drop off food. So
Okay.
you don't see any. That's fine. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
concerned about, people being
No,
home
and
by
it
themselves.
absolutely makes sense because sometimes, and I can just speak from, cancer itself,
Hmm.
sometimes, people have this idea of what a cancer patient should look like.
Hmm.
And you might show up and that person not look like that.
Hmm.
And, your facial expressions say it all. And
Hmm.
so, you would hate to hurt somebody's feelings because
Exactly.
you just weren't prepared and you really weren't certain how to go about that. So that makes total sense to me.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So what is it that you guys are in need of?
Everything. So, girl, because I just talked to someone today, I think our delivery list is going to triple by tomorrow. So we have an Amazon wish list. Um, that the things that we need for like our inventory bags, like our bags that we pack. So we have an Amazon wish list. We need everything from rice to pastas. And you know, people, let me just say this. People have to understand. They think when they donate food, they should donate stuff that they don't want or it's expired. It's been
Say it
sitting
again.
in their
Say it
it's
again.
been sitting
Say it
in their
again.
cupboard for about 5 years. Now they want to get rid of it. So they want to donate to. We give our people quality food. They
Mm.
deserve that respect to
Mhm.
get quality
Mhm.
food, which
Mhm.
means I don't want your garbage. I want decent food.
Right.
So
I want what you would want to eat. Absolutely.
exactly, and that's how
Mhm.
we look at it when we get donations. We pick through and we read everything and we look at everything and we. This been someone donated a whole box of cans that was from 2016. Exactly. Exactly.
What?
Now I'm supposed to give that to somebody? No, thank you. You wouldn't need it.
So first of all, I had to like think about what year this was because I'm like, that's
So did we. You should have seen this as we was reading the cans. We had to look because we sometimes don't see too well. We had to say, wait, what's this number? And then when we realized, we like, come on, man. You wouldn't give that to your family, so don't give it to someone
exactly.
else.
You should just
We
do that
try
in
to
the
show
trash.
people respect. Let me just go back a little
Absolutely.
bit. We also teach people because we people of color sometimes think the only vegetable is corn, potatoes, you know, broccoli. There's a whole lot of other vegetables out there, people. There's Swiss chard, there's bok choy, you know,
Oh, I love
there's
both of those.
right? There's bok choy,
Mhm.
there's golden beets, there's Persian cucumbers instead of regular cucumbers. So what we've
Mhm.
also been doing is when we give those vegetable bags, we also put information sheets in there
Oh,
trying to
nice.
encourage people to eat them. And we try to put in there, this lowers your blood pressure. This helps with your diabetes. This helps with your cancer. This helps. Like, I spend hours online finding things like if you have cancer, you need these leafy greens,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we try to educate people also in this process because we need to broaden our horizon. We need to broaden our horizon. It's not for
Mhm.
other people, it's for all people.
Mhm.
So,
And not only
uh,
that, the other thing that that people also want to be mindful of is that you want to be exposed, of course, to a different, a variety of things, because then that stretches not only your palate, but it
mhm,
stretches your groceries.
exactly.
Because like I said, bok choy I absolutely love. Like
Mhm.
I saute it up, put a little chicken
It's
in it,
so
or
good.
no, a
Little
little bit of sauce.
garlic,
I
little
exactly,
mushrooms.
I loved it.
Mhm.
And so it's like that can be a meal in itself.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
the one of the things that especially that is affecting our community, we have high blood pressure, women in fibroids,
Exactly.
all iron troubles because we're not getting enough green vegetables.
Exactly.
And the ones we're getting aren't the right ones. And so absolutely, I think that is great that you
Yeah,
do that.
it's
It is
important that we
needed.
have to educate
Hmm.
ourselves. And I think the more we educate ourselves, the better we'll be, the healthier we will be.
Hmm.
I have lupus. I found out 5 years ago that I have lupus.
Wow.
Yeah, and guess what? I take no medicine for lupus. I
Mm.
researched every single thing that I need to eat, I need to drink, and that's what I do. I hate turmeric. Can I tell you how much I hate turmeric?
Do
But
you? I love it.
I used to think I loved it. I think because I have so much of it, but it's good for my lupus. It's in
Hmm.
my ginger,
Hmm.
in my turmeric tea. It helps my
Girl, that's my girl. You
lupus.
talking? Listen, you talking? Listen, that is. I drink a cup every day,
I will
every
send you
day,
some.
and I cook with it a lot.
Mhm. Yes,
Almost everything I make, I put it in there. Like and I like
but
stir
it's good
fry
for
because
you.
right, because stir fry is a dump meal for me, especially at the
Hmm.
end of the week when I'm trying to clean up
Yep.
my refrigerator. I'm like, oh look, we're gonna take this, we're gonna take that.
But that
It's a
it makes
great
up.
dump meal.
Hmm.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So we're trying to
Absolutely.
educate people on. how to do better, how to eat better. You don't have to be on all those medications. Trust me, the ones you need to take, I expect you to take. If you
Mm-hmm.
got high blood pressure, I expect you to take the high blood pressure pill. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that we need to over medicate ourselves
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we're
Absolutely.
just not getting the right foods. And I
Mm-hmm.
think in a community where um, I hate the words food deserts, but in reality,
Is what
that's
it
really
is.
what they are. But
Mm-hmm.
it sounds so ugly, but it is very ugly.
Well, it is ugly. Yeah.
And I think that
Mm-hmm.
when you have food deserts and people, when you go into these markets and they only have a limited amount of this, or they got go so far to get to a market, I need our seniors to understand that we got you. If you in this area,
Absolutely.
we got you.
That is
So
amazing. That is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So what's next? What's next?
Well, get grants because
Okay.
we need to hire full-time people. We need to get a building. Once we get a building, I would like to run some food education programs out of the building. I would love to open up where kind of like us for people that are on our list of people that we supply to. They can come and pick up stuff, like almost like I don't want to call this a food pantry, but a food supplier where they can come and say, "Hey, Linda, I'm low on this for my shelter. Can I get this and can I get that?"
Okay.
So that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I want to quit my full time job
Wow.
because
Okay.
I need
So
that
at
with.
some point, would you rather just service the organizations that service people, or do you still want more people and organizations?
I want to do both.
Okay.
Because I think
Wow.
it's
A
important
lot.
that, yeah, it's a lot. I think it's important that because that's nice that we have where the organizations can come, but they expect the seniors to come to them.
Mm,
Our seniors can't always come to them. You
hmm.
can't take an 80-year-old that can barely walk, expect her to get on a bus, come to your location, pick up a 30-pound box of food, get back on the bus, and go
Right.
home. She ain't going to eat. That's just too much.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
So,
and we're seeing that now just with the vaccines. It's part of the reason
exactly,
why our seniors aren't getting it because they can't get there to get it, which is
exactly,
insane.
exactly.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So what I need for you to do is I need for you to send me the website, phone number, how people can donate, the Amazon wish list, all of that. At the end of the month, I'm putting together basically all the videos that I've done, and I'm going to
Hmm.
share all the information so people know where they can go. I spoke with someone who's doing something very similar to what you're doing out of her home in Upper Darby. I've been making some calls to some commercial real estate companies to see if I can get her connected to a building. The thing is, she needs a building in a very specific area because she doesn't want
Us
to go
too.
too far from her
Hmm.
house. You know what I mean? She needs to be because of that people in that area. So if
Right.
I can assist you, absolutely let me know. But like I said, I do have a call into some people. There's one particular building that she really likes, and so I'm
Hmm.
trying to get in contact with the leasing person.
Hmm.
They're not calling me back, and apparently they just don't understand that I'm very persistent, and I'm just going to keep
I
calling.
know that's right. They just
Um,
don't know you.
Right, and the thing is, they're not using the building, so like, why not take the
Exactly.
tax write off? Like, it just to me,
Exactly.
some things just don't make any sense, and I'm like, come on, let me help you see the benefit to this. And
Exactly.
she's gotten a lot of really great press, because the president came and he went to her. Like, she's been doing really great stuff, and I'm like, and that's kind of what when I reached out to him, that's kind of what I was saying. Like, listen, this is a great opportunity because if she opens in this building, you're going to get great exposure, and when people realize what you've been doing, how you've been assisting, and yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Well,
it's
good
a
luck.
double-edged
Let me know how
sword.
that works.
Yeah, absolutely right, because it's a double-edged sword. People say they want to help, but oftentimes they really don't. They just want to talk
They
and
want to talk.
say, "Oh,
People.
I want to help," but
Hmm.
nobody reached out to me.
We
No, I
call
called you a
that
few times.
performative charity. There's a lot of people out here
Mm,
in the world that they like to talk about helping, or it's the right thing to do to be seen, but they really don't
mm,
have the desire to help. Performance charity.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Yep. So, but
I
I
like
will
that.
send you all the information because we need help. We have a GoFundMe. We are in the race against hunger that's coming up. Starts tomorrow. It's a virtual race this year.
And so
Because we're
tell me about it. I know a lot of people
so
who run. Tell me
Philadelphia
about it.
Coalition Against Hunger has a race against hunger. It's in its 25th
Okay.
year. Um, and our team is participating. We have a runner, and it's a virtual this year, meaning because of COVID, what they do is they run their race, they have people videotape it, they put it on. We raise money, and it's a fundraiser for us. And they're one of our partners. We have really, I just need to shout out my partners. Coalition Against Hunger, been awesome. They are mentoring us. They meet with us every 2 weeks to talk about
Oh, I
what
love
else
it.
we need to do. They do it for absolutely free. I love them. Sharing Access, they donate the USDA boxes to us. You know, we have a Food Connect that donates all kinds of food to us. And we have a private donor who she doesn't want to be named, but she makes sure that we have produce every single solitary week. And I am so thankful
Wow.
for those people. They just they believe in us. They give to our GoFundMe, even though they donate to us. They believe in us, and they believe that we can do it, and I believe we can do it too. And I
I'm
thank you.
absolutely. First of all, I know you, so I have no doubt about it. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
really, like I know you. I remember like just the little things that we were doing, and you were like making it happen. So there's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be successful.
thank
Absolutely.
you.
And like I said, make sure you give me those links because I want to
I
make sure that I
will.
share them out so that people know what they can do and all of that. And tell me the website so for people who are watching, they can get what the website
Sure.
is.
It's northwestmutualaidcollective.org. Yep.
Wonderful. All right.
Yep.
Well, that has been great.
Thank
Thank you
you.
again. Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you
You're
for the fact that,
welcome.
you could have just been sitting at home like most of us watching TV during COVID, but you decided to get into action and really make an impact to help the community around you. I mean, no, really, like I watched a whole lot of TV and I slept a whole lot on the couch.
Me
But
too.
it is what it is. Right. I mean, it is
Hmm.
what it is. But what you're doing is needed. It's amazing. And I always tell people, people are like, well, there's this in this area. I don't need to do it. Yeah, but you never know who is right in your immediate area who needs help.
That's
And
right.
basically, you started this from that out of a need, and it's grown. And I think it's amazing. So,
Hmm.
yes, once you send me all the information, I will update the post so that people will be able to see the GoFundMe, Venmo, whatever it is you have, how I can
Hmm.
donate, the Amazon wish
Hmm.
list. Then, as I stated, at the end of the month, I'm going to put together a post with the organizations that I've spoken to so far, just so people can get an idea of what's out there and how they can,
Yeah.
do what they do. So, is there
Nice.
anything else you want to share with the people before we go?
I just want to thank you for just giving me an opportunity to share and to say if you know anyone in the Germantown, Mount Airy, or East Falls section, call me. I'll feed them. And if you're in Philly and you need some bok choy, I'm your girl.
All
I will
right,
be.
y'all heard that. Yes, I'm going to get me some bok choy, y'all. I love me some bok choy, and I'll even pay for it so that you can pay it forward to somebody else. But
Amen to
yes, it's
that.
been
Thank
amazing.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. We may have one more nonprofit that we'll do next week. Stand by. I'll give you guys information by Wednesday if it's going to happen. If not, we're going to do something a little different. But thank you, everybody who has joined in, commented, sent me DMs to just kind of get information about how they can help. And I get it. A lot of people don't want to publicly be like, oh, I want to help. But maybe, secretly you just like, hey, drop me that link so I can donate to the GoFundMe. We absolutely need to pay it forward to these organizations because a lot of us are one paycheck away from needing a box. And so I
Amen to
want us to
that.
realize that and the importance of sharing the blessing that we already have. That's how we continue the blessings. So with that, I want to say goodbye to everybody. I will see you all next week. Don't forget,
Bye,
if you are not
everybody.
following me on Instagram at Tamika Talks, go over there and click the link. If you're not following me on Facebook at Life and Pumps, what are you waiting for? And of course, I'm on YouTube at Tamika Talks, Twitter at Life and Pumps, and of course, the blog is lifeandpumps.com. I will see you guys next week. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye, everybody.